Hello, hello, and welcome to episode number 125 of CoCreative NoCode's Office Hours. I'm your host, Tonya. We're here with members Thomas, Jay, and Ben, and my partner, Justin, and my Kim. We're going to get started in a moment here, but if this is your first time tuning in, you might be watching live on Facebook, or perhaps you're watching the replay on YouTube. What Office Hours is we invite our members to a Zoom session every day of the week. So Monday through Friday, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And they can bring any bubble bugs, feature requests, questions, topics that they want, and we will cover them. We can't always answer everything, so we can't promise the answer, but we do promise that you don't suffer alone, because one of the most lonely things about bubbling is if you've reached the end of your thought process and you don't have an answer yet, and we know how frustrating that is. So we try to eliminate that as much as possible, but if we can't, we'll be with you as you go through it. We all go through it. All right, so we're going to get started here in, let's see here. I think we'll start with Thomas. Thomas, you said you had a general question.
Yeah, so I had asked before, but have you or Justin messed around with the actual Algolia plugin, the easy search?
I have, but I mean, I didn't set it up. All I did was I clicked the button to re-index something after like some data was corrupted or something.
You did that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say I managed another developer who used it, but I didn't personally use it. But I have the setup and everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm trying to get an understanding of the actual, I guess it's worthy of showing. I will share my screen.
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah. Make sure I don't show anything sensitive. I'm trying to understand, nope, not this. I'm trying to understand the setup with the plugin. Really, I'm trying to understand where the connection is being made. So from what I understand through the documentation, it's the query is important. But I was kind of studying, I don't know why I can't see it right now, kind of what zero code was doing. And I didn't quite understand. I just don't understand where it's actually being connected.
And you're using zero codes and not bubbles, right?
Yep.
Got it.
The actual plugin.
So what happens with Algolia is Algolia actually indexes your database. And so it will grab a list of everything. And then they do the search on their server. And then they just send you back a list of the unique IDs of the resultant search. So it's just like a really fast way of searching just for the unique IDs. One problem with that is that you can only query really one thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. They had said something about expanding that, but I don't know how far they've gotten.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. So I guess your question would be more focused around like how
am I connecting this actual, like within the property editor, how am I connecting this bubble app with my Algolia index, which is just sample data? Okay.
So the first thing, you've registered for an account, have you created your first index, or you're just using?
Yeah, I've done some configurations, and that's pretty basic stuff, searchable attributes and ranking and sorting. So
okay.
I've done that.
So can you search, like, is the search working on Algolia for that already?
Let us check. We will do name. Yeah, looks like it's working.
Yeah, okay. So you need, you configure your ranking for your index. You've done all the ranking already?
I believe so. And I kept it pretty basic. Yep.
Okay.
I saved on both of these.
And then you configure the display for your index?
So this is display. I haven't done the repeating group quite yet. I haven't gotten to this step because I've been trying to understand
like how to pull the data in?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So when you use the plugin, I'm just reading the documentation here. You have the different fields and states.
I have not set any like custom states, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. So you have your index name, and that's the name that you pull from Algolia. You've already set up your API keys, I hope, in the plugin.
So they didn't ask me that at all. And I was curious because in the documentation they didn't give direction in that step. Where am I plugging keys?
Yeah. So go to your Algolia.
Go to my Algolia.
Wait.
Yeah,
We're
go to
talking about keys.
I'm
Yeah,
not going to
keys.
show you because the keys are set though. Like
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you do have them connected?
Yeah.
You have the
I
API
haven't
keys there?
I haven't.
Yeah, we just
connected
don't want to share keys on.
Yeah, for sure.
Screen share.
So
For sure.
to clarify, the API keys are set, but it's not connected to Bubble.
So
Got it. So you haven't entered it anywhere in the plugin.
I just don't know where because it's not something that.
Oh, you would do that
Oh.
in the plugin section.
In the plugin section, I got you. I'm not sure why they don't have that as a step in the documentation. Okay. so
yeah, it's the fifth one there. Yeah, Algolia, and then they have that.
add here and here.
Yeah, for the dev as well.
Like, I should get like a green thing that says this is working, essentially.
Well, it won't tell you exactly if it's working or not. It doesn't do a check in the bubble editor. You have to preview it to see if it's
Gotcha.
working. But yeah, that's where you'd set it up. That's pretty standard across all plugins, is to put the API keys in the plugin page there. Yeah.
I did not read that. Okay, so I think I have enough information to continue. And if I have any trouble, I'll let you know.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Jay, you're up.
Okay. This is what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, this is a list of all your trees and shrubs. So here is one, these are two separate repeating groups. You'll either see one or the other as a user. This is a list of each plant and you can see where it's located. So if this was in two different beds, then you would theoretically see a list of more than one bed underneath it. And then this number is how many of each of these plants you have in this bed. Okay, this is an alternative view by bed. So there's the bed and there's a list of the plants in it, and there should be a number showing how many of each. So I've got a bunch of problems with this right now. I've done this in other places on the site and it works, but it's not working on this page. So the problems here are that unique elements is not filtering out this second instance. This shouldn't display. There should just be one and then that number showing how many. That's one problem. Oops. And I don't know what just happened. Oh, I'm sorry. A cat happened. It happens so much.
That's why I kicked mine out.
Okay, and then in this one, this is this is obviously what it is. This should be the number of these in the garden, and then this should open a pop-up that should display the plant details to show you all about the hydrangea, how tall it gets, and etc. So here's how it's set up. These are the databases that are involved. This is bed description. So this tells you about the actual little plot of land that the plants are on. And it's the name, the size, and it's got a contents list, which is a list of the next data type. And it's also got a list of plants. Okay, and then there's bed contents, which is the stuff that's in the bed. And the reason I did it this way is because later I plan to add things like the row, like, you know, where the plant's located and stuff so that you can manage individual plants. Okay, so those are the things that are involved. And then lastly, I've got the all plants database with all the information about a plant. Okay, I think that was all important to know. I hope so. So this one, I don't think this is that. I think I'm missing something. Unique elements isn't working and I don't know why.
Do you have two of, so it's bed contents, right? And then you're filtering by bed contents. unique elements. Bed
I'm filtering
equals,
by bed descriptions and I'm doing a search to count, where'd it go? Oh, okay. That doesn't need to be there, obviously. It's empty. This was late. A lot of stuff happened last night.
right.
Okay, let me get rid of that.
So
That
bed
should-
contents. So you want to make the plant be unique, or is the bed contents the plant? Like
The plant should be unique. Let me show you the data.
No, I think I'm following what your
Okay.
question is asking, Justin. I think the unique elements is out of order. Like I would do unique elements and then maybe filter. Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, I was thinking right here, you want to show like the current cell's bed contents plant name. If you have more than one plant in the same bed,
Yeah.
are they separate bed contents?
Yes.
That's why, because you're filtering by bed contents. And so they are unique. Those two different plants are different bed contents, but you want to get you want to group them by plant is what you want to do. So if you go search for bed contents, and then if you using a group in a
Hide it.
repeating group doesn't it doesn't usually work out the way that you want. But I can show you if you go back to the data source for the repeating group and you go search for bed contents and you click on the more and you click group by, and then you add a new grouping. You want to group them by plant and then exact groupings. And then you would kind of add the data that you want to show. So the aggregation, this is usually for charts and tables more than anything. So in this case, you're trying to show underneath each bed contents, you're trying to show what was it again? Sorry, could you go back to the preview?
Yes. So I just want to show each type of plant once and then the count.
In which gardens they are in?
I'm sorry?
In which gardens that they're in? Or like how many
Yes.
you have in
So
each?
if I had hydrangeas in 3 different beds, then this would be a list of 3 different beds. And here would be how many I had in this bed. And then underneath how many I had in the next bed, etc.
So I think, Tonya, maybe you understand the database a little more than I do, but I think what you're trying to do is actually search for plants. And then underneath each plant, that's where you want to show, the gardens that those plants are associated to. So if you go back to the repeating group, and Tonya, stop me anytime if I'm misunderstanding this.
Oh no, this is not easy to understand.
So if you click delete on that one.
No, but here's the thing though, Jay, is you are trying to show a bunch of different relationships and
Yep.
keep track of a bunch of different relationships. So like you have some redundancy and some stuff you could probably refactor out of your database, but it's not going to make it any easier to understand just because it's tricky keeping track of that many relationships. So.
Yeah, it's confusing. I totally agree. I tried doing this as my plants. That's the one that shows you a list of all the plants that you own. So I started with that, and the problem was it didn't work. I could get a list of, I don't remember what I could get. It worked part way, but it didn't work any better than what I have. So you think I should take a different approach?
So the database structure, you might have to relook at your database structure because it's getting complicated. Something like my plants, is there a reason why you made that a separate data type and not a list on the user?
Yeah, because there's a ton of information in it.
Okay, so what's on my plants?
All the stuff.
So you've got
The
notes and
format
things
you
like
bought
that.
it in, the notes you make for it, when you bought it, how much you paid. And some of this is redundant. because getting to all plants from various parts of the in different repeating groups was hard. So I just replicated because it was the answer. Like that should be in all plants. These things are, what's the word I'm looking for? They're inherent to the plant. So some of these things shouldn't be here, but there they are. And then there's things like where it's located, which is probably the wrong place. I'll take that out. But things like, there's something else in here that's important. Oh, like, your harvests and stuff. You got to connect to that.
Okay. Okay, I see. So you need as soon as it become yours, then you need to add custom data to it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back and then try to pull in all plants, or my plants rather, not all plants. Okay. And then you have a repeating group inside of that, right?
Yeah, because because when I was using it as bed contents, in bed contents, there's a list of the in bed description, there's a list of the plants in the bed. So I was trying to grab that list as opposed to going to bed contents and counting. I mean, I don't know, because I've tried it so many different ways since last night that I can't even tell you all the things, but that's the reason that there was a repeating list. It was to show a repeating group, to show a list, but I don't suppose I need that right now. I'm going to move that just somewhere else and put in text.
So every time they add a plant to their garden, first, when they add a plant, it becomes a my plant. Can they have more of the same my plant? Like more than one of the same plant that's considered a my plant? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And they should, in most cases, like nobody plants a tomato plant, right? You plant 3.
Right. So
Or
is that
right.
3 different my plants, or is that one my plant with quantity 3?
That is one my plant with quantity 3.
Okay. Even if they're planted in separate gardens, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this should do what you want it to do. So you were saying this wasn't working the other night?
Well, because the beds aren't attached to my plant in my plant's data type.
So if you're in, you can jump back into the design there. I think I know what you mean. In that repeating group, what's the data source for that repeating group? Because you want to list, what beds they're in, right?
Yeah, so this would be bed description. It isn't at the moment because I've been digging around.
Okay, and so if you do a search for bed description, where the, I guess, bed plants contains current cells my plant.
Okay. Oops.
Probably current user.
Current user, I just misclicked. Okay. Oops, there's some red there.
Oh, is this a group or a repeating group?
This is a repeating group.
I think it's just a group right now.
Yeah, I think I dragged it and undid it. Sorry about that.
It's okay. If you right click it, you can replace by other type. Oh,
I misclicked again.
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
Ah,
Undo that.
I will.
Yeah. Make sure you click on first name when you delete and then delete again. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Nope.
Are you getting the
Did I
current
change
cells
the
bed
name?
descriptions name?
That's the problem. Okay, so that's good. And then that leaves this problem.
Okay. So you have to count how many they have.
Yeah. So the only places it made the most sense to me, the most direct way to count this would be like this. I thought this is one reason I did the database like this, was so I could specifically so I could do this. I knew I was going to want to. Sorry, there it is. I mean, here it is. It's also right there. I don't know what happened there. I didn't delete anything. That was probably a cat too. But you can see that everything's right here. Plant, the bed name, the owner. These are the things that I need.
Right. And you're just trying to count how many plants are of that particular type within there, or?
Yeah. So if there's like a hydrangea in the shade bed, hydrangea in the shade bed, I want to know that there's 2 records that, have hydrangea in the shade bed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you'll do a search for bed contents. And then the plant will be probably not the curtain cells bed description, right?
It wouldn't be. I mean, how else does it know that?
Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't know you had plant on there. Yeah.
But then the problem starts to come with when I get down to.
So actually, yeah, it wouldn't be a current cells bell descriptions. So actually, where it says current cell my plant, like the header, like that's what you're trying to grab, right? The actual plant. So
Yes.
you just put that inside of a group. So if you click on, you can ignore that for a second. And then if you click on where it says in your repeating group or the top, the header, yeah, the current cells, yeah. Is there a group somewhere in there?
That is not in the group. It's in the repeating group.
Is there a different group within there that you can use?
Is
there another group? I see one at the bottom there.
That I think is empty right now. So
okay. Oh, that's empty. Okay. So maybe we'll just repurpose the title. Repurpose the title. So grab the current. Grab the title there. The current cells my plants, and then just right click, and then you're going to put it inside a group. So group elements in a group. And then in that group that just came in, you're just going to do, yeah, it's perfect. Title. Yeah. And then go ahead and go back into your repeating group. And now you're going to refer to that. So I think it was under the counting that you're trying to do, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So search for bed contents, and the plant is equal to, and then type in title. So group my plant titles plant. Or my plant.
I had no idea that I could do that. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's super useful. If you want to grab like the outside of a repeating group, like the cell outside, you just need a group to refer to. That's all you need.
So then I could put this in a group here, this thing, current cells, bed designs, bed name, in a group as well, and use that for this.
Yep, totally. I mean, in that one, you don't need to because it's already within there. So you can, it's current cell, right? Bed is current cell. Current cell's bed description.
See if it, I mean, I think there was yeah, that was the problem. It's erroring out.
What's a bed?
What is a bed?
A bed is referring to what? It's just, is
Like
there a
you
data
have-
type called bed?
Called bed description.
So bed is bed description. So like
Yeah.
what type is bed?
It's not a thing of its own. It's bed description.
So then
There's
remove
bed
bed
description.
name.
I'm sorry.
Remove bed name. So click on bed name. And then, yeah. And then just current cells bed description.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
And that should do the trick. You're doing a search for, are you
I'm
counting it as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to count. Trying to count.
Just can't remember if we put a count on the end. We
I don't
did.
know if
We
either.
did.
Here it is.
Yeah. We
This
did.
is correct. Awesome. Okay, so that's fantastic. And now in this one, I'm having the same, I have the same problems, but I think that knowing about the grouping should help a ton.
Mhm,
And then we
mhm.
also eliminated the problem of too many of them by not going straight to the source, but taking a different, coming at the data from a different angle.
Yeah.
So when you're making that decision, I mean, you know, there's like 4 databases involved in this little tiny repeating group. It's one reason it's been taking me so long to figure out the problem. How do you troubleshoot 4? You know, there's so many things that can go wrong. When you're making the decision about where to start, I've always been kind of wanting to start as close to the source data as I can, which to me in this case was bed contents, because that's really what I'm trying to count. But evidently I had the wrong kind of way of thinking about it. How were you thinking about it that made you know to go to my plants?
That's a good question. How did I get into that process? I think that for me, if the goal, if you know what needs to be unique, then you know what you need to search for. Like for you, you wanted only one plant, right? So that's the thing that you need to break it down to. Like I need to go by plant, like whatever's going to give you the single result. Doing unique elements is almost always a bad idea.
Because
It's very slow. I think the biggest reason is because it's really slow. It has to download all of the data from the search before it can show. And unique elements usually means that you are going at the data in the wrong way.
okay.
Yeah. There's almost always another way that you can attack data other than doing unique elements. If you're relying on unique elements a lot, it means you probably have to look at your database again and try to find out like what is the least amount of database things that I can create to do all of the information that I need.
But then don't you end up with like really big databases that you that would be harder or longer to search? I thought that I should be segmenting my data.
To an extent, but for example, you have plant, right, as a data type,
Yes.
and then you have all plants. What are all plants? How is that different than a plant?
This is the data that's inherent to the plant, all plants. So that's stuff like its height and its spacing. It's everything that doesn't change ever about the plant itself.
Okay, can you go
And
to
then-
the data types tab up at the top left there? And then, so, okay, so you've got one called plant, and then you got one called all plants, right?
Now I've all plants in my plants.
Oh, there's no one called plant.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I think that's what was confusing me. Yeah. So I like, maybe it's just comes down to convention. I would call all plants, I would just call that plant. And then my plants, I would just call, yeah, I don't know what I would call that one. That one's rough. But having all plants, which is just a list of the plants essentially. And then having my plants, ooh, I think the way that you've done that is fine. And then you have bed description, and then you have bed contents.
Mhm.
And contents, bed description is just explaining.
The reason it's like this, at least in my mind, is
Mhm.
that you might have, let's say you've got a bed in your front yard and a bed in your backyard, front, back. And in each one, you've got one hydrangea, but you've got some other things in each one as well. So in order to be able to display and work with the hydrangea in the back alone, or whatever, you know, I wanted this to be, I thought this needed to be separate, as well as there's the other details in here, like there's an image gallery and you can like the bed. And also because later, I'm hoping or planning to build a way for you to put in like 2 foot by 6 foot in some kind of input. And then I want to be able to populate an image, you know, on the screen that's 2 by 6 units. And then I want people to be able to click on each 1 foot square and make it sun, shade, or partial. And then I want them to be able to drag icons or something over onto it so they can visually lay out their beds with plants. And then later, if they're vegetable beds, I want Garden Brain to automatically rotate their crops for them every 2 years.
Okay.
So because I have that level of interaction or functionality that I want to achieve, I thought this probably needed its own data type.
So bed description is essentially just it's a bed, right?
It's the ground, yes. And it's
Okay.
got the list of plants that's in it as well. Bed plants, list of my plants. And it's also connected to contents, but that is weird.
Okay, it's got bed plants and bed contents, but doesn't bed contents also have plants?
Yes, the only reason I put this here was because I was trying to build this and it seemed like a way to maybe get to it. Other than that, it's not in use. I'll probably get rid of it.
Okay.
And then this is the bed contents.
Bed contents. So it has a bed, it has a bed owner, which is the user, which is the creator usually. Or not
When
necessarily.
I was testing as the creator, they were all me or app and they didn't work. So I put this in so that while I was building it, I could see results.
Okay. Usually, if you can, in those cases, you want to use privacy in order to block seeing other people's my plans. But I don't know if you have like sharing ability where you want to be able to see other people's or not.
Yeah, you do. A lot of stuff, most of it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that does make it more complex. Okay. And then so you have notes. Each one has a note and a plant and a quantity. A quantity of that plant?
Yes. I'm not actually using that. I'm not using that. Quantity needs to go. It's obsolete.
Okay. And then notes. So you would have notes on a bed contents. Okay. Okay. I think for me, it's just naming convention. Like I would name it bed instead of bed description. And then I would name bed contents like bed item or something like that. Or bed plant or yeah, something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just naming convention. But if that's the way that your brain works, like keep it the way that your brain works. Don't change it just because because other people don't understand it. Yeah, that's fine. No, okay. Like the names are what confuse me more than anything, to be honest. I think that the database actually is not incredibly complicated. I think you have the right amount of data types.
Oh, if you saw my thumbs up right now and the look of joy on my face, I'm so nervous about this database.
I mean, I think this happens to everyone. Whenever you're building an app kind of and your ideas are flowing while you're building it, like it's not fully scoped out beforehand, you're going to add a whole bunch of unnecessary data types and you're just going to have to be, yeah, it just happens. So Tonya was talking about a refactor earlier, like this might be something that you get to the end and like you get an MVP out the door and you're like, you know what, now that I know what functionality matters most to me, I'm going to build it specifically for that functionality. And then once you have like an idea scoped out, you get into a Google sheet and then you just list your data types before you create them in the database. And then you play around with the data until you figure out like the most, not convenient, but the most, what's the word? I guess convenient would be one, but like the efficient use of data. Sometimes you have to put additional data on like quantity and things like that because you want to be able to like filter without using an advanced filter and things like that. And so the way that you have it right now, Jay, is not I mean, it's pretty good considering how complex your app is and how long you've been building it for. It's, yeah, I'd say it's pretty impressive.
Well, I'm thinking that,
Agreed.
thank you. That is heartening. I'm thinking that, later after there's actual users, that I'm going to start looking in the back end list, but just because I'm worried about scalability. So, okay, so I have another general question about what we just talked about. You've mentioned that after you know what you're trying to achieve, you can lay things out and understand the data relationships better. From listening to you talk, it sounds like you come from a background where you have knowledge about these things. Whereas a lot of us in Bubble are no coders who don't have any background in things like data. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos about different types of databases and stuff. And honestly, none of it didn't not make sense. It just didn't sink in. Where do we start thinking about data in a way for complicated things in a way that, that we come at it, that we can save ourselves some pain? Is there an answer to that question, or is it just go suffer, learn and suffer?
Learn and suffer. Well, I mean, there's an element of that no matter what. I did have a background for sure. In this, like I was the kid in high school programming Space Invaders on my calculator. So I just always kind of wanted to do that kind of thing, and so I just understood data types. I don't know, out of the box. But because I did teach, I was actually a teacher, computer science teacher in middle school, and I taught using code.org. And it has some really awesome little tutorials that really explain how data types work, especially with JavaScript. And JavaScript is how Bubble runs and how you can build plugins and how you can add functionality. And so it's a really good way to kind of jump in and have a look at, and it's completely free too, to have a look at how these things work. And there's a lot of interactive videos that really explain it on a high school level, or like introduction to university kind of level, which is really, really, really nice. Yeah, code.org. Super, super nice. I would go for any of the high school stuff that they have. It's the same stuff that they teach in university.
I may go for the elementary school stuff, but I appreciate confidence. I know I have more, but I know other people are waiting. So can I get back at the end of the line?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Tonya.
Yeah. Reeece or Brittany, do you have questions today?
Good evening. Yes, I have an issue at the moment.
Okay. I think I saw it. You posted it in the Bubble community group.
I did.
Is that the
yeah.
one you're struggling with? The last
Yeah.
time I saw anything like that, it was the Bubble bug and you just had to wait it out. Like there's like no reason why all of like several different elements would suddenly change like their size and stuff like that, because I don't even think sizes of groups are a style that you can apply. So if you have multiple changes like that all around your app, chances are it's a bug.
Yeah, I thought so, because I tried resizing it and removing everything, and yeah, it looks normal in the editor, but the moment I go to responsive, it just blows out again.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're trying something out with the new responsive engine. Woohoo! Come on, Bubble, you can do it.
It could be incoming.
We believe in you. So,
all right, yeah, I'll wait it out then. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Brittany?
Yes, I do have a quick question.
Sure.
Based off of what we worked on yesterday with incorporating the system user with the messages and everything using a unique ID, would I need to make a new system user for the live version, because the unique ID will not be?
Yes, you will.
So how would I do that if I use that particular unique ID?
So maybe what you need to do is just you make them sign up as one or the other, right? Like when
right.
Okay, so maybe in the same place that you set the type of user, have a different type of user called system user.
Okay.
And then search for that type of user. instead of, and the first item, right? And that'll get you the correct user in either version.
Okay.
Is that making sense or no?
So you're saying, I want to share, just to make sure.
Sure.
I'm doing
Yeah,
this
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So you're saying in the data field of users,
Uh-huh.
the type of user needs to be a system user, correct? Because we put that in under conversations. So if I was to put, let me make sure.
Yeah, so that was a type of conversation, as a system conversation. And now
Mhm.
we're talking about the user having a type as well, called system user.
Okay.
But hang on, you already have a type of user, right? You already
Mhm.
have, yeah, and it's text.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
what I mean, is you can just reuse that field and call it system instead. And then you can create one system user on both dev and live.
Okay, so I don't know if I type of
Yeah.
user.
Yep, so if you go to app data,
So I'm just inputting it on the live. So would I switch to live here and then put it on?
yeah, but not yet, because
Oh.
have you deployed the changes yet?
No, not yet. I haven't.
Well, it won't really matter because you're not going to retroactively go back and create that conversation yet. So yeah, you could technically put it on the live version. It wouldn't hurt anything.
Okay.
But just if you go to the user that we created last night in the dev database, we could
Okay.
do it there.
System, here we go.
Yep. And then for type, you
Type.
just say system. Okay, so you just have to remember it's lowercase and it's system user and not system.
Oh,
It's okay, that's fine. We just have to be careful with that. And that's one of the reasons why we would use option sets usually for the type of user. So at some point we could go back and implement option sets for that.
okay. I think
okay.
I'd rather just say system because that's the one, that's what
Yeah,
use this.
it'll be easier to remember. Yeah. Okay. So now you have a type of user system. So you can go to where you're referencing the unique ID, where we referenced it last night. Glad you remember where.
Yeah, because I've been playing around with it. Okay.
All right. So yeah, so go to the search. So clear that out. Just delete that line altogether. Nope, you can click the trash can next to the line.
Oh, the whole thing. Gotcha.
Yep, because we're going to search add a new constraint and it'll be type of user and system.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I was a little confused.
I think you're going to have to click out of there and backspace out of the dynamic part. Yeah, there you go. And then just type system there. There you go. Now it should work for either.
Okay, gotcha.
Dev or live.
Okay, instead of using a unique ID. Got
Exactly.
it.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Did you have anything else, Brittany?
You know I do, but if
Okay.
if we've used all of the time already, I'm okay.
Oh
Because
no, we haven't. We've got more time. I think go for it.
Okay, let me get mine. So this is really, it may be a bug or something because it's really small. Let me go to the page here. And it may have already fixed itself. I don't know. So on this, these two fields are required, but it does not, like if I press the submit work order request button, it continues to go through. So I don't know, and I have it set, this input should not be empty.
Yep, no worries. This happens. I think a lot of times we do that, and I like to put conditions on the buttons themselves
Mhm.
so that the button won't be clickable until everything's filled out.
Oh, got you. Okay, so
Yeah.
I could probably do that on my
Okay.
own.
Yeah. So if you just create the expressions so that those fields have to be
Completed.
if they're empty, then that button will be disabled.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Just curious there, Brittany. Does that workflow use that input?
Yes. Wait, let me make sure. So that is, yes, it has to. Yeah.
For the name? The name is input title. Yeah, I think it's up there.
Yes.
So you have
right
input
here.
of titles order value. Does it does it have an initial value?
No, it
Is
does
there
not.
no space in there? Okay. Yeah, what typically happens is there's like a space in the initial content or something like that.
Mhm.
You have you have three conditionals. What are those conditionals? They're
If
all
have
for
it
focus, hovered.
empty,
Oh, okay, I
yeah.
see. Okay. Yeah. If
check
for
this
whatever
one.
reason that's not going through, it probably is.
I want to check it because it may have.
Yeah. Tonya, have you experienced that happen before?
Oh, no, I've dealt with this, what I would consider a bug. But
Oh, yeah.
I've just, and I've known, I've heard a lot of bubblers talk about it actually. And so that's how I learned the workaround that I use.
Right, just a condition, yeah.
And even there's even some places in Canvas where it's used as like, we use that in the filters, right? Quite a bit.
Oh man, isn't testing fun?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes longer to test than to build it,
Yep.
Right.
let alone find the bugs.
Sigma. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, and
No one
testing can be
has-
tricky too.
Let's put a. It says 3 work order credits. Let's try a different user.
To me, I liken this particular like trickiness with bubble to the same thing as, what's the other one? Oh, the tabbing
it's
function
working
not
now.
being consistent.
It's working now. Like I said, it probably, I don't know what was going on yesterday.
Oh man,
Just putting it
fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That was pointless, Stephen.
No, it's fine.
No, it
Like
happens.
Jay
We
says,
believe
whenever-
you, and
Right.
there are transient bugs in bubble that like something will be broken and they'll realize it real quick and then they'll fix it, right? So
Right. Okay.
it happens.
Well, it's working now.
Like they just fixed the issue from the other day with the download CSV.
Oh yeah. I couldn't launch any of my apps for like 3 days.
I launched it with the issue, but I told the client what was broken. It wasn't anything he was planning on using, but yeah. But yeah. So all right, let's circle back around. Thomas, do you have anything else for us? Thomas must be away from his There you go.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, just asking if you had, if anything else came to mind before we,
Nope.
we're round robbing it. We're going around robining it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm okay.
And then Jay,
Yes. Give me just a second.
and then Ben, if I don't know if you're more awake now, if you have anything, let me know.
Okay, so this is the same, but this is the other view. And I got, this is all good, but this isn't. And I'm kind of thinking about what we just did, and I've just changed it up. So now my problem, I guess, is getting the list to show. So, so this one is now the type bed. The search is for the owner and whether the bed contains the plants of the right type. So that's all okay. And then I get to here, and I must have a parent group somewhere here. Yeah, that's not right. Okay, so that looks okay. Does
Is
this
that a
look right?
dreaming puppy? Is the puppy okay?
The cat, you can hear her. Gosh, that microphone is not bad, I have to say.
We can hear her and we're like, is she
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. He's an old cat. He lived outside for years, and now he lives in my house, and he is he's quite an assertive cat.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
You got quite
Something
the
like-
search going on there.
you know, it shouldn't be that bad. Here's the problem. This I don't know. I've tried this so many different ways.
For this one, you're just trying to list what's in it.
Yeah, this should be a straightforward nested repeating group, right? Full one by one. I tried that, and yet I only got the list.
So you're trying to list the plants are inside?
Yes,
Oh.
and how many of them there are.
Okay, so you have the bed contents, right?
I have the bed contents.
What's the
Yes.
yeah, what's the repeating group data source for that? Yeah. Search for
Right now
beds.
it's up as beds for the user, and then the type of plant, because we're only looking for trees and shrubs.
Oh, you have a
Right.
nested search. Okay. Let's get rid of that nested search. So yeah, let's clear that out. So the beds there, oh, you have the beds, they're loading fine, right? You're looking for like which is which there? Which one's the one that's loading forever?
That's this one that we're looking at.
It's the internal repeating group that's loading forever, right? So-
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So you can undo that. It's probably sorry, undo that data source on the external repeating group that you just put in. Yeah.
Okay. There is none there.
Oh no, you can undo, so you put that back in. Like that's not the problem. That's it is a nested
Gotcha.
search, but it's
This is the
not
problem.
slow.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now you have the bed, and now you want to get the bed contents for that bed, right?
Yes, and then I want to count them.
You want to get the count of what?
How many like hydrangeas you have in your bed?
So how many of each plant?
Yeah. So like while here we're looking at the plant and how many there are in each bed. I want this same number, like for like 1 in the shade garden, 2 in the shade garden, however many there are. And then if there was another garden here, like, you know, whatever front garden, and there was 3 hydrangeas, it should say hydrangea 3.
Okay, so let's so you're trying to get the list of plants in there, and then you're trying to get the quantity. You don't have quantity as you're not using quantity, right? Inside your database. So we're gonna have to count it.
Right. Yeah,
Oh.
because there's a reason for that. But okay, yes. It's a short answer.
Okay, so do a search for bed contents. and add a new constraint. And then where the bed is equal to the current cell's bed. And that'll give you a list of all the bed contents. And then you want to separate, like you want to put all the plants together, right?
I want a different row for each plant.
For each type of plant, right? But if there's
Yes.
two of the same plant, then you want them to be in there. So that quantity that you're using, you're not using that right now?
It's populated in parts. I don't trust it, put it that way. It's not populated consistently because I went back and forth. I don't think it's the best way to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think having that number and that, because there's so many other things going on with that number.
Yeah. I know I told you don't use unique elements, but it's a small enough list. No, don't use unique elements yet. Sorry.
Okay.
Do plants first. So search for bed contents and then more. Click on more. And then get the plants from it. Yeah. And then do
Practically
unique elements.
Every time I make a generalization, like within minutes, I have to walk it
Not
back.
the name text. Sorry, not the name.
Just leave it as plant.
Unique elements. Yeah. Plant.
Okay.
And then unique elements. Yeah, I know, right, Tonya? And then change type of content to plant or all plants or whatever that type is. Should be all plants. So what you're doing is you're searching for the bed contents, and then from the bed contents, you're getting the list of all of the plants that are in there. What is type plant? Where it says bed contents is plant. So go to your database real quick, and then you can, if you don't remember, and then bed contents, plant is type my plant. Okay, so it should be my plant.
Ta-da.
And then within there, yeah, and then within that counter, you're just going to search for the bed plants that are equal to, you can remove bed owner. You can remove, no, you change parent group's bed contents plant. Oh, is this inside of a group? Yeah, it's inside of a group. Okay, that's why. Bed group, bed contents plant. Is that the name of the parent group, bed contents? I think so. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I have to check. It's count plants in bed.
Oh, okay. Go to count plants in bed. Yeah. That should be parent. Oh, okay. There's a lot of groups here. Okay.
Yep.
Start at the top.
Does that one still need to be in a group? It was only in a group, so I could try to access bed contents. It doesn't have any other reason.
Yeah, take it out of the group then for now.
Okay.
Looks like it's inside of another group. Hey, there's another one there.
Oops. No, that's the one this one is for responsiveness purposes.
Okay, is it
And it's
inside that?
wrong. Yes, it is.
No, it should be current cells my plant, and then you change the type of content my plant. That's where all of that was coming from.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you have the plants, the list of plants, now you want to do plant equals, yeah, my plant, and then yeah, there we go. And then the bed is group bed names bed. Yes, that's the title group, right? That you have there.
Yes, this is the title.
Okay, good. Yeah, those group names they're hard to keep track of.
Yes.
Okay, hopefully that loads it.
Tonya, you need to get suspense music. Okay,
And
so
change
we
that
have-
name there, my plant's name.
I'll be the suspense music. Which
Dun,
movie?
dun,
Which
dun,
movie of
dun.
suspense would you like?
I don't know, maybe.
Jaws comes to mind.
So it's not parent group bed. So you have to grab the parent group. Sorry. Go to the parent group. You have to change the type. You have a type mismatch. Yeah.
I see.
Because that repeating group is for my plants.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there it is.
And then parent group. Oh, do you have name? I don't think you have name. Yeah. Store the name in there. There we go.
Dun, dun.
Tonya, where's the music?
Wait, what are we going for? Let's see, like the Rocky, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. I'll get that queued up. I'll have to buy some licenses though, because we broadcast live to Facebook. We don't
And
want to
there
get
it
kicked off the platform.
If you go to
You
meme,
also need ta-da music. You need ta-da.
Ta-da!
yeah.
There it is. Thank you. Perfect. Perfect.
Well done. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's see. All right. I think have we run out of questions, or Brittany, do you have some more?
No, I think I'm good for today.
You good for today?
Mhm.
Jay, do you have any more?
I do. Sorry, I
Okay.
do.
Go for it.
Okay. This is like such a basic question, and I don't understand why it's not working. This is the sign-in process, and this is about the email that is sent to people. It's showing up without their username, even though I've moved it to where I think it needs to be. Get rid of that.
First thing that comes to mind, privacy rules.
What's that?
The first thing that comes to mind is privacy rules.
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't think I have them set here.
Okay.
Let's see. Button login is clicked. Button. Okay. So they've already signed up at this point. They've given me the name and email, and they've moved on to the next step, which is other information like their username that they're picking and uploading their avatar. So by now they're already a user, even though they haven't given me everything I need yet. So the next button is, where'd it go? Darn it. Maybe that's the problem. Did it get moved? No. Oh, okay. So as they move through the process, then they end up getting this message. They've got two chances, whether they accept the location that we think they are in or whether they don't. But either way, they have to click at that point and then the email is triggered. So they've already signed up. And yet when this mail is going out, it's going out with a blank space here. It's not capturing the username.
Okay. And then let's just go to your database real quick. App data. And then users. And then let's modify users unless you already have it somewhere so that it shows the username. Oh, if you click the,
This
It's-
one.
No.
No?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yep, that'll work. That's fine. Username. Nope. Stop. We're not setting a constraint. We just are checking a box that says username. There it is. It's the second column, second from the bottom.
Let me get rid of some stuff so otherwise we'll never see it with all these things clicked.
It usually shows it in the view once you click save. So, all right. So you have two of them without usernames?
Yes, those are just tests.
Okay.
No.
So which one were you using where you didn't get that welcome username?
Various tests I've run since.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we know for Floor Assassin. Okay, how are you setting the username when they sign up? You're asking them, obviously, I think, to pick one.
You mean like what kind of input, or what are you asking?
Yeah, like how do they determine their username? Because it looks like those are user chosen usernames.
Yes, there is this, and then when they click here, then that to go to the next step, then they end up somewhere over here. Oh, where'd it go? They end up there. It's in the workflow. Let me find it. Icon, go to location. There it is. So it does a count, and then maybe that's the problem. So if it's greater than, if you know, they get an error if it's already there, username taken, but otherwise it's added here.
Okay, so you set it there, and then what happens after, like?
And then they're offered the location stuff, share your location.
Okay.
And we suggest where I think they are, where Bubble thinks they are. And then they click yes if it's okay, or they click no if it's not.
Okay, and then go to the workflow after that. I'm just making sure that the username
I totally
is set
get it.
before
And
you
you're
get
absolutely
the
right.
send email.
Yep. So that's all good. Send email. Yeah, it's
Okay,
after that. So they've already
so-
had their username share saved.
Saved. Okay. And then go to data. Go to privacy rules. Go to users.
There it is. There's admin and current user.
And then scroll down to current user.
Username is okay.
Okay, that's a bad privacy rule.
Okay.
No, hang on. No. Like scroll.
Yeah.
Or slow down. So current user is logged in and they can see all of that information about any user. I think what you mean is current user is this user. There's nothing private. Okay, if that's true, then that's fine.
I mean,
username
that,
is
I guess, is private.
Okay.
I actually, I mean, while we're here, I do have questions. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this, like there's no personal information here. There's no passwords or emails that are exposed. So so is there anything I do need to worry about here? I mean, is this like a lot of this stuff, they can't get to it unless it's offered. Like there's no place to go. You can't just go copy like a username and and put it in the URL, to tweak the
But so hang on a second. There is an email that's exposed. You're just showing what's available through auto binding. But you have view all fields checked, which means that any user who's logged in can see any information about any other user, including their email.
Yeah, I definitely don't want the email exposed. I don't see it in the list. Maybe I'm blind.
It's down at the bottom of that first column there. So like that's why it would be showed, like, yeah. So you want to modify that just to be safe.
But then like things like username or zone, like which I display, like if these are going to be displayed like on the gallery pages or wherever they're commenting, then these need to be clicked, right?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just if you're saving their IP address and stuff like that, you just don't want anyone who knows what they're doing to have access to that stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to like hide the stuff that's super personal with them.
Okay, I'll revisit this after and go through more carefully.
Yeah, but okay, so the username is definitely we need to make sure that the user can see their own username. So that's checked. So current user is logged in, they should be able to see their username. All right, let me let me log into your app. And you want to stop sharing and I'll share my screen?
Yes, absolutely.
I think I'll probably see it better if I'm clicking around. I don't know why I feel blind when I'm not the one doing the clicking, but all right, let's see here. So which page is all the login stuff on?
Sign in.
Sign up, sign in. Okay. So the first thing I do is so this is the login. And then
Yes.
there's a different thing for sign up, right?
Yes. If you go over to Elements Tree and click on group info, it'll, that's where all that is.
Okay, so is this the first or no?
Yes. That's
This
the intro. And then the next one down is where you actually start with inputs.
Okay, so you upload a picture first,
Yep.
and then this is shown when your sign-in snap step is avatar. Okay, and then the next one is this, and then you set it for geo, and then you set it. It's after you click one of these buttons that you
Yeah.
get the
Yes.
email.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So if I go. Here. Current users email garden brain username. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign up on your thing,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to put here, like right here. And I'm going to preview it because I'm not logged in as anybody. What was that?
Did it work?
Hello, I can. Oh, ta-da!
Yeah. There we go. All right. I got it working, so we're good.
Oh my God. Now I feel like I'm
We have
watching
sound effects now.
PA Boys YouTube channel.
I was like, Jay, is your cat okay?
Oh,
All
that's
right, I'm
good.
gonna sign up. Oh, okay, got it. So if I'm, all right, we're just gonna do, I don't know if I'm in here or not. 5 measures, 1 minute. That's fine. Remember me, sign up. We'll go to. See, isn't that handy? Okay, make it crazy. Not a gardener. Is that crazy? I'm not a gardener. All right. Yes, I am. Perfect. And it does have not a gardener here as my username. Okay. I'm gonna click yes. All right. Now I should have gotten an email. Is that right?
Yes.
Hi, not a gardener.
It worked.
It worked.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's working. I don't know why. What happened before? All right.
So like, I'm not sure, but it's working now.
That's all that matters. You
Yeah.
don't question.
There you go.
It wasn't loud enough. Sorry.
No, that was awesome. But we We heard it. That's all that matters. Very good. All right. Let's see.
Thank you. Awesome.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else before we wrap up office hours today?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
Awesome.
Going once, going twice. Oh, we're done. Thank you.
We're done.
All right.
Have a
Thank
great,
you.
oh, that's awesome.
We will be back on Monday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time for our office hours episode number 126. If you would like in on a complimentary session, you can go ahead and send us an email at team@CoCreativeNoCode.com. We'll get you some credentials. Thank you so much, Thomas, Jay, Brittany, Ben, Reeece, for being here today, and also Kim and Justin. And I will see you on Monday.
Have a
See
great
ya.
weekend, you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
I love